So I'm here with Natallie Young, a senior technical account manager here at RunSignup. Almost forgot all the words there, but I've got it.
There's a lot of them.
Now, when and why did you start at RunSignup?
Actually, right out of college, I worked for a race production company in San Diego where we did about 13 triathlons a year and a few half marathons. And I worked there for 5 years, and I wanted to move over to the registration side of things. So I met Bob, and I had a 5-hour interview with him and learned about the way that RunSignup builds software and how they build it for their customers. And I knew I wanted to work for RunSignup. So I've actually been with RunSignup for almost 10 years.
So how did it become a 5-hour interview? Was that you asking a lot of questions?
It was. I actually printed out all of the blogs that I could find and put them in a binder and studied them and came to my interview with 25 pages of questions, which Bob liked, but it was fun. Andrew Burke, about half an hour into my interview, he wanted to get in on it, and then we just talked about technology and all of the features that RunSignup did or didn't have. And I think the interview was about 5 hours, but it was mostly me asking questions. It was a good time.
Mine was maybe about half hour. We
That
just
tracks.
went and ate pizza on Main Street. Now, what does a senior technical account manager do?
So in my role, I work with a lot of the bigger races. So I help onboard larger customers as they come over from other platforms. And then once I'm working with them, I help them make changes to their races, set up their races, make suggestions on things they could do to make more revenue, or show them new features that we've released in the system, also while taking their feedback and logging it into GitHub so we can make enhancements that could help them and help other customers grow their races and increase revenue.
And what kind of suggestions would you give people to help grow their race?
We have a lot of tools built into RunSignup. So we have the referral program, swag rewards, our automated emails, price increase emails, but also just there's a lot of good details in the race trends report that we put out every year. And so times are constantly changing. So I always tell my customers to look at that report, even though it is a good 84 to 100 pages. But there's a lot of details and feedback in there that races should review annually and then make changes to their races based on that. But things like I recently heard from a customer that they increased their VIP sales because they added VIP porta potties, things like that, like really random things that can entice people to spend more money. So even if you're a race that doesn't have the ability to increase your capacity, you can still find ways to increase your revenue.
I like the idea of someone just being like very proud of the fact that I have VIP in the porta potty over there.
Yeah, they even put signs up that say VIP.
Is it P as in just the initial P, or?
That's a great question.
Because I feel like there's an opportunity for a pun there.
There is. That would be clever.
Is this where you thought your account manager interview was going to go?
Yeah,
Okay.
This is right up my alley.
All right. So can you take us through like a typical day of how you're interacting with customers?
No day is ever the same. It's one of my favorite things is constant change. Things never get boring. But from the account manager standpoint and the tools that we have, it's usually going through emails, and then we have our review queue. So anytime certain features are enabled in the system, we have a queue that we can go through that flags us. And that allows us to check certain features that are enabled so we could make recommendations. Like, I see you turned on incomplete registration emails. Did you know about these types of emails? Or to check to make sure that things are set up correctly, and review things to prevent mistakes and make suggestions.
So if somebody sets up like group pricing, you want to make sure that they're not like skipping someone through the settings there?
Yes. So like sometimes it's team pricing and they forget to turn on refunds, or they're trying to do social teams and they turn on corporate teams. So just reviewing things and learning more about the races to make sure that the features they've enabled actually make sense for what they're trying to accomplish.
Now, what if a customer comes to you and they're trying to accomplish something that we don't exactly have a feature for?
Well, the first step is to ask what they're trying to accomplish and determine if maybe there's a workaround that they could use for maybe something we already have. If there isn't a workaround, then it's having a conversation, understanding what they're trying to do. And then if I think it's something that other races could benefit from, I usually connect with the account management team, see if they've had requests for that or anything similar, and then logging it into GitHub with our development team so they could assess if that's something that would be a feature that we want to build.
And what exactly is GitHub for anyone watching who isn't familiar with that?
It is our development ticket tracking system, and we log requests from customers into that system with screenshots and examples, and we note the customer who has requested it and what the feature is and how it could benefit the race, or if it's a bug, or if it's an issue, or things that need to be fixed. And then as we release features, or if the ticket is just closed because we decide it's not something that makes sense for a majority of customers, then it's our job to review the ticket, test the new feature if it's something that we've added, and then reach out to any customers that have requested it to let them know what we've done and how it works.
Now, what do you think the greatest strength is of the account management team?
I love our team. One of my favorite things about our team is, well, we have 13 account managers on our team, but lots of different age ranges and lots of different backgrounds. So like race directors or timers, people who have come over from the customer service team. Just if you take everyone on our whole team, we have a very big brain. So in our weekly account manager meetings, just learning from others issues that have come up that week, workarounds that they've come up with, things that they've learned, workarounds that they use. So constantly changing, but constantly growing and learning things about the industry, things about the system. It's just never a dull moment.
What is your favorite feature in RunSignup, TicketSignup?
What is my favorite feature? There's so many of them. Well, obviously the referral tools. Referral program is a big thing for growing races, but I will say our TicketSignup check-in app is probably the best check-in app that exists. Just the way that you can pull up an order and bulk check-in tickets and do individual store fulfillment. Working with so many different ticket events that use add-ons and store items in so many different ways, depending if it's a haunt or a concert or a golf event, just having that flexibility. And then we released our waiver app or waiver kiosk about 2 weeks ago that allows people to just use the setting, turn on a digital waiver, so to take away paper events from on-site if you're still using them. It gives events the ability to sign waivers on-site digitally and then store them in the back of the ticket event.
Well, thanks for talking to us today, Natalie.
Thanks. This is great. Good times. All right.
Thanks, Natalie. It wasn't so bad, was it?
It wasn't.